Welcome into Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. I have a listener. I have a request for our listeners today. I'll press pause. Somebody in your family has a birthday today.
Oh, we have a 21st birthday.
That's a big birthday.
Yeah. So we're gonna go to dinner.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all we're doing today. We're going to dinner.
Wait, you have to say it's your daughter's 21st birthday. Just say that. Just say those words.
It's my daughter's 21st birthday. Hey, it deserves that. Yeah, really exciting. Cannot believe. I mean, I have one older than her, but
It hurts.
in my head, I'm her age. Actually, Spotify
says you're her age.
I'm
exactly.
literally
Yeah,
21.
so I mean that's normal.
I guess my head
Of course.
needs to grow up. But anyway, very cute. I remember it. What did y'all do on your 21st birthdays?
It's embarrassing.
I'll go first. This is no lie. Y'all
Oh.
don't judge me.
We listen and we don't judge.
Don't judge.
Okay.
I was living in a barn
We listen and we don't
in
judge.
East Tennessee. Okay, so where I grew up, we had a horse barn.
Okay.
Okay, we had a barn, we had an arena, we had the stables underneath, and there was an apartment above.
Okay.
And this land attached, through the pasture to where I grew up, house
Over yonder there.
over yonder. And so anyway, it was right down the street from the University of Tennessee. And so I lived in this barn when I transferred back to Tennessee. And I was having a barn party.
Mm-hmm.
And no lie, we found this is so Tennessee. We found a jar of moonshine.
No, you did not.
Underneath, I don't even know who lived there before. I probably should have checked. I don't know how we all didn't die, but we found a jar of moonshine in the kitchen underneath, on the bottom cabinet. And we got into the moonshine, and I swear, jackleg death probably should have fallen upon us, but it didn't. We had a great time.
Bet you did.
Great time. And in that vein, I have to admit that for the longest time, you know the song Rocky Top?
Yes.
Ugh.
Your favorite song, JP?
Ugh. Sorry. Continue.
You'll always be home sweet home to me.
I literally thought until a few years ago that when they said get their corn from a jar, not lying, thought they were talking about they had to eat canned corn because they were so poor. Anyway, we found the corn in the jar on my 21st birthday, and it was fun.
Moonshine is a whole nother animal. And I don't know how more people didn't die back in the day. That's what I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, I don't think it's very sanitary.
Though it is so powerful, I know why people would pack it up in the trunk of their car and run moonshine, back and forth between states and counties. I mean, that was basically the fentanyl of the day.
You're right.
Yeah.
You might die, but it's worth the fun and
It's
the
delicious.
risk.
Doesn't take much. You pretend like I don't do shots, which I've never done a shot, but I've had
Wow.
moonshine.
What?
And wow, somebody brought it over. Oh, we were in the house we're in now, and they're like, "Have you ever tasted it?" I'm like, "No." Holy cow!
Did they make it, or was it?
Yeah, they made it. I'm good.
Did you trust them?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I trust them. This is again. We're back to say it with me, boys and girls. We listen and we don't judge. I may or may not have gone out to dinner with my parents for my 21st birthday and their friends. We listen and we don't judge.
Abs. That's the lamest story I've ever
So, in the colony,
heard.
I know it is horrible. Though the dinner was great. There was a Greek restaurant. If you've been to Birmingham, you're turning off of 280. It used to be TGI Fridays at the top of the hill.
Yeah.
Go down through. There's a hotel there,
Uh-huh.
which changed names like 77 times. And then just past that on the right was a Greek restaurant, Connie Kanakis. And
that's a
we
staple.
had the, room and
the party get down room.
and there was no
With
alcohol.
Mom and Dad.
No alcohol served.
No No alcohol served on your 21st birthday.
I mean, that's okay.
No.
It's good Greek food.
Wow.
But I had a good birthday cake. So
That face.
it was delicious. But in our family now, when our children turn 21, because they would never
Drink before.
ever, is our Lolly makes their first drink. And
is it the same drink or do they get their choice?
I can't remember what the oldest child got, but she came over to the house and fixed the first like vodka cranberry or some. It was pretty, and she made it, and that's what we do.
That's what we do
because she's a good little mixologist.
Lolly, with a name like Lolly, how can you not be?
Great Lolly. We're anyway. So that's what I did for my 21st birthday. So your child, I hope she has a great time. JP, speak up. What did you do?
My 21st, I was in Huntsville at the time. So I think me and my friend group, my 6 lads from high school,
lads, I love that word.
We just hung out at one of their house for the night.
For the night. I heard that.
Well, not for the, yeah. That was pretty much it. I didn't do anything for my birthday last year, like anything at all.
No cake?
Well, okay, my Aunt Charlene brought me a cake, but yeah, I didn't do anything.
Sweet Charlene?
Yes.
Sweet. Or she made a cake. Vanilla or chocolate?
It was chocolate.
Okay. You know what, JP? We have a lot in common, don't we?
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. So you stayed in with your lads?
Yeah, my 21st birthday.
Was it like Natty Light, or was it like what was brought to the house?
They drank Pepsi.
No, I can't even remember. We drank something, but now we all just hung out. We're all like the same type of people, like the hang out and just like hang out with the boys.
Just chill.
You know? So it was a chill night, my 21st. Yeah. We didn't go out bar hopping or nothing.
Yeah.
I'm so disappointed in this group. Like nobody went to jail.
No.
Nobody ended up in the hospital.
Nothing. Although I need to know what my husband did on his 21st birthday. We've been together for almost 30 years. Christopher Paul, what did you do on your 21st birthday?
Sounds like he's in trouble.
Christopher Paul.
I don't know what Jared did either.
Excuse me. Well, I text my best friend and ask him. Excuse me, sir.
As I'm making fun of you and judging you and listening, like you said not to.
It's okay.
What is Jennings doing tonight? She's hanging out with her parents and going to dinner on her 21st birthday.
But it's the safest place to be on your 21st birthday is with your family. Because the other part of it is that's just sweet.
Yeah.
It's really sweet. Like I had fun with my parents. I didn't miss drinking because I didn't drink at the time. Not until I met Chris and had kids. And then even then, I never liked being out of like my right mind. So none of us do. So we're not crazy. Like we were never in the scene of bar hopping, getting crazy, get crunk.
Yeah.
Like that was just not.
No, I went to the bar twice at Alabama, I think. And it's because all my other friends wanted to. And I don't know. I don't like all the people right on top of me.
Super peoply, sweaty,
loud. There's always a fight. And like I literally saw that when I was with one of my friends, and my friend who I was there with loved going to the bars. Oh, he was wasted. And I just remember right behind him, he was in La La Land, and right behind him, I saw these 2 frat guys bump into each other. And then they look and they lock eyes. And he's off like looking around, and I literally grab him and pull him in. And as I pull him in, it's a bunch, and I'm like, why guys, what are we doing?
Yeah. See,
I much prefer to just hang out with the lads, chill.
What is it? Beer is a mocker, wine is a brawler.
Yeah. But it also was Rounders. So what do you expect?
What do you expect? I mean, you're kind of inviting it.
Yeah, exactly.
When you have a name like Rounders.
Rounders. Yeah.
What's the other one?
Galette's is another one. Galette's is the upper class, a little more tame, where everybody just goes to hang out bar. Rounders was the freshman, everybody's out of their mind bar.
Okay, so that'd be like Sky Bar.
Needs a fake ID to get in bar.
I of course have an X on my hand when I go to Sky Bar.
You do now?
No.
Oh,
yeah. Of course, there's Yes, I've heard lots.
Have you ever been to the Boom Boom Room?
I don't even know what that is.
The Rounders had a Boom Boom Room.
I've never been
What's
to the
a
Boom
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 Room.
That's where the fight happened, in the Boom Boom Room.
I'm sorry. What
did you
is
get
a
in?
Boom Boom Room?
I don't know. I've never been in it.
Does it mean like, is it what it sounds like?
It's like a separate special party room
Where they jack all the speakers up as loud as they can, and everybody.
Oh no, thank you.
Where they got the normal bar space, and then they got the Boom Boom Room. Where you go to the Boom Boom Room, it gets just crazy. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and fights happen.
No.
I talk about moonshine and barns and all that, but I was always in bed by like 10 o'clock.
Yep.
Even in college.
Not fun to be out. Like, I don't know how people do it. I really, I'm impressed. I respect you. A couple of my kids they're night owls, like their dearly departed grandfather. But no, I'm the joke at family reunions because they're like, it's 8:30, and I'm like, I know, I'm headed to bed.
I don't think that's bad.
I don't think it is either, because I get a lot done in the morning. Do you get a lot done in the morning?
Nah, I like to.
Do you Herkle-Durkle? I have a word for us today, by the way.
Well,
Molly has adopted your Herkle-Durkling, Sinclair.
We should discuss.
Okay.
We should discuss sometime and compare notes on best ways to Herkle-the-Durkle.
Okay.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
What's wrong with that?
Don't say Herkle.
Okay, Durkle the Herkle?
No. Don't make it a verb.
Oh.
Why not?
It is a verb. Herkle-Durkling.
Herkle-Durkling is a verb, but don't say you're Herkling the Durkle. That's.
Do you realize how many times we've already horrified JP? Our job here is done.
Okay, we got to take a break. Will you tell us the word on the other side?
Yes, I'm very excited. It's from Chris Shaver.
Chris has good words. Okay,
Yeah.
We'll be back.
Rightside Radio. It's only Tuesday. Does it feel like Thursday or Friday to y'all?
It really does. I keep having to tell myself it's only Tuesday, and I don't know why. I told you all that yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday felt like a Friday.
It did.
We were a little goofy.
It's okay because
y'all caffeinated.
Caffeinated. And you know what? I have decaf, but my calf that I had before I left the house and then my decaf has kicked in. Thank you, Lord. Coffee is proof that the Lord does love us.
What's the point of decaf? You just like the taste of coffee that much?
I like the
Something
taste
warm.
of coffee. There's a little caffeine in it. And so it gives me a boost. And that's all. That's it. But I do like coffee. I don't really like coffee ice cream, but I like coffee. Anywho, so we have text. We have a great day. Andrew Sorrell's on with us today at 4. We have a banger montage, and we're going to tiptoe, perhaps wade into the waters of one of our new segments called The Plunge. And it is a subject that you do not want to miss. Truly. Am I right?
I can't, y'all. I'm so out of it today. I can't even remember what.
Well, your hair looks real cute, though.
I washed it, Abs.
Did you wash it?
I washed it last night.
It's like Barbie hair.
Yeah.
Not your
so
feet. Your
I
hair.
did not wash my feet.
Because
And-
the shampoo washed the feet.
It had been quite a few days since I washed my hair.
Mm.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
the
it's been for me
shampoo
too.
washed my feet. So we're all good.
Sure.
Don't you fear. We are good. Okay. What is the word? And then do we have any text?
We do have some text.
Okay.
Ooh, sweet.
What's the word? What's
Say
the word?
everyone. I'm putting my glasses on. The word. Oh, come on, Zoom.
All right.
You ready?
Okay.
Jingoistic.
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 Can you spell that, please?
Well, would you like to try to spell it?
Is it DJ like Django?
No, it's not Django Unchained. It's like Jingo. Try to spell it.
Is it J or G?
J.
JINGOISTIC.
ISTIC.
Right. So it's characterized by extreme patriotism, especially in the form of aggressive or warlike foreign policy. Now, this is from Oxford Dictionary,
Well,
but
That's
they'll.
not we were going at all.
It's not what people will say based on the subjects we will cover today.
Yeah.
Is that people like Tommy Tuberville are jingoistic?
I was thinking like George Bush was very jingoistic.
Yes.
They'll say that that's what he is for what he's saying about the Mohammedans, but that's not true. Or that is a new label. Chris threw it around. I was like, fun with words. That's a great word. That's what they'll try to say we will be like, or we will be if we do not want Islam to take over the United States or Australia or wherever. So we're going to be pushing back against that because that's not true.
Can you use it in a sentence?
The North Koreans were jingoistic.
What were they jingoistic about?
They can't leave their country. They love it
Everything.
so much they're locked in.
Okay.
Or let's see, what's another one? But really and truly, I think of it like this definition, which is from dictionary.com or dictionary.com. A person who professes their patriotism loudly and excessively, favoring vigilant preparedness for war. We're not that.
Nah.
And an aggressive foreign policy. I'm not going to say the other word that they think it is.
Yeah, I know.
That doesn't.
I was going to say that word. Yeah.
But so I think we're getting
I
mixed
don't know the
up.
word.
Well,
Can you write it?
They will accuse us of being like this, but we're not.
Mhm.
That is not what we're being like. That is not an appropriate, y'all are jingoistic because you're not for this. That is not true.
So basically a Christian nationalist.
Basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the
That's
other word,
exactly right.
the other word rhymes with schmassism. Schmassism.
That's obviously.
Yeah.
It's clear as mud.
Crassism.
So that is a word that we should be aware of because they'll say we're bigoted, we're homophobic,
Islamophobic.
we're Islamophobic. Now I think the new label will be, and y'all are jingoistic.
No, the left cannot say that word.
They can't.
It will not come out correctly.
No, it
so
won't.
they will not adopt that.
But do you not agree that could be a word that they next, because they love inventing new words.
Yeah.
Fascist. that could be one of the words
just
they
gonna
try to
shorten it. They'll be
lob
like,
in our direction.
You're so jingy.
Jingy. You're
You
such
just-
a
you just-
I love the game Jenga.
a jingeristic.
You're a Jenga-istic fool.
Stop being so jingy.
Anywho,
I like that word. I've never, ever heard that word.
fun with words.
Oh, we didn't even get to any text.
No, we can't on the other side. And then montage on the other side.
Okay.
Montage.
That's a good one today.
It is a good one today.
I'm going to have to look and see what's in it.
No.
I didn't
Wait,
read the text.
don't do it. Now
Don't.
you got to get your blind reaction.
I should probably
It's
just go home.
too late.
Go ahead and go to the Christmas bar. Just dip out today. I'm fine. I'll stick around. Don't yell too much about me staying. I know. That was a joke. We'll be back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. JP, I put my earbud back in when you were talking.
Sorry.
What would you prefer?
Well, let's read a couple of quick texts first, and we can go to the montage.
All right.
Shane from downtown Huntsville says, on my 21st birthday, I worked 16 hours between 2 jobs, and when I got off work later that night, I went to the grocery store and bought a single Budweiser just because I could.
Nice.
Shane.
Well played.
He's a real one.
Yeah. Dana from Athens says, my 21st was early drinking, early pass out, then spent 3 hours playing cards with the local cops at the police station.
Cute.
Parentheses, I was dating one of them. And then
Aww.
says, Ray's Boom Boom Room was a thing in the movie, quote, Life with Eddie Murphy.
I don't know about that, but
wait,
okay.
Was that?
Cheers.
Wait, Life.
I haven't seen it.
Not Eddie Murphy Raw. Was it part of those? Okay.
I don't know.
The Boom Boom Room. I'm going to have to Google that. Dang it. I thought Dana ended up in jail. That was going to be the best story.
She was going to be a mascot, maybe. Okay. Yeah. Any other good ones?
Mike from Florence says, in the good old days, there were actual nightclubs. These days of bars, these days of bars, the only excitement is when a fight breaks out. Dance music and dance floors now are just stories I'll be telling the grandkids someday.
He's right.
Yeah.
It used to be fun. There was a little glamour. I mean, even back in the way old movies, they dressed up and went out to dinner. It was a whole thing. What, JP?
So that text we're not going to read.
Okay.
It's funny, though.
Okay.
Sorry. We can go to the next one.
Yeah.
We got one more. We got Paul Bryan from Athens. It's kind of a good segue into our montage. Said, I'm not Islamophobic, maybe Sharia phobic.
I think that you can't separate the two.
I was going to say, I don't know how you tease those apart. In the end, I think temporarily, momentarily, you can say they're different, but I don't think in the end you can. Yeah,
it's true.
I agree. Well, on that note, is it montage time?
Yes, sir, it is.
Well, that means we have to tell you about attorney Stan McDonald, who is a partner at the law firm of Wilmer and Lee out of Huntsville. He's a 30-year veteran in the practice of law in North Alabama. Not only will Stan advocate and fight for your legal needs and rights, but he has been an absolute warrior for causes near and dear to our Rightside ruffian community. Attorney Stan McDonald has represented his clients in literally thousands of real estate transactions over the years. And when Stan McDonald is on your side, you have no greater friend, and likewise, your adversary will have no greater foe. So attorney Stan McDonald, here's his phone number, 256-533-0202. That's 256-533-0202, and tell him you heard about it on Rightside Radio. And no representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Wait.
Right.
Wait.
What?
I always
Allison!
No, I always want to say this because it makes me smile.
What?
Doesn't Stan McDonald kind of look like Santa Claus's brother?
Who?
What? He's got the little rosy cheeks.
Who's Santa's brother?
Stan.
Oh, you're saying Stan just because he got rosy
Every
cheeks.
time I see his face pop up, it reminds me of Santa.
Does he need to grow out a white beard?
I don't know. It's like his corporate sophisticated brother.
Oh, I guess so. Do you see
Y'all don't
Amy
see
Beth?
it?
No.
He's got like a little twinkle in his eye.
But he does have a twinkle in his eye.
He has a
and
twinkle in his
seems
cute little
like
rosy
a
cheeks.
really nice man.
Yeah. Okay, carry on.
Okay.
Stand by for news.
For news. We have had a tradition of toleration. These people are not tolerating us. So you won't tolerate us, we want you out of this country. Right? Because this country is fed up with your, we must be nice to everybody. Well, I'm not particularly nice to people that crossed the border, invaded another country and murdered over 1,200 people.
Afghan terrorists attacked these two shoulders because that is what Islam teaches. The Quran says to kill all infidels. That means all people who don't believe in Islam. So let's not mince words about this. Islamists want every single American, and especially Christians, they want them dead.
You know, basically suicidal empathy. There's so much empathy that you actually suicide yourself.
Yeah.
So that we've got civilizational suicidal empathy going on.
I have a bill dealing with the Taliban, defund them. We send them about $40 million a week currently under NGOs and other things. We have totally disrespected this country out of our own greed, because some of that money flows back into this country through to politicians. And
big vote tonight was the NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act, and it was $900.6 billion. Of course, Ukraine, $800 million total. Recognizing an Indian tribe out of North Carolina has nothing to do with national defense. We just got to quit this stuff. America's got to start paying attention.
That slavery was standard practice throughout all of human history, and it was ended by white people because there is an insidious agenda to shame our children into submission. And the truth is that our children should be damn proud of where they come from and who they are.
Dude. That's like we need 2 days for that.
Probably should have read the text that said what we were talking about before now. Well, that's a lot. That's so good.
We had to have back-to-back Tim Burchett because whenever you're talking about like something that Congress is spending money on, you got to have Burchett explain it because it's the daggum Taliban. We're sending $40 million there, $800 million to Ukraine. It's ridiculous.
He's our Doge guy, basically.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't believe it, but let's see. Let me look back so I have the order correct. So the Australian man, but when we get to the Taliban and Tim talking, it's unbelievable. I went back and watched 5 minutes of the hearing where he was questioning some people that were whistleblowers essentially, and it was mind-blowing. And that's all I'm going to say.
You know what?
Yes,
I just
ma'am.
had a really good idea.
What?
So we're going to be filming a podcast with Tim Burchett very, very soon. And I'm so excited. We just finalized it today. Cannot wait. It's going to be awesome. I would love for our listeners to text in questions for him because he is one that will, like, I asked his guy, I said, is there anything off limits? And he's like, not really. Congressman will pretty much talk about whatever. So if you have questions for someone that's up in DC that doesn't give a rip about telling the truth or just telling you how it is, text us in. We'll start making a list throughout the week and see what y'all are interested in because he's like having a little treasure in your pocket for about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
If y'all want to text in 833-687-4448, text us in what you want us to ask Tim Burchett. Is it Burchett or Burchett?
It's Burchett.
Tim Burchett.
Burchett.
Burchett would be way too sophisticated for East Tennessee.
Tim Burchett.
It's Tim Burchett.
Okay, good.
And I'm here at Long's Drugstore eating my lunch with my squeezy cheese.
So the Australian basically said the whole thing. They're not tolerating us. Could we just put that on a t-shirt? Why are we tolerating them? That might have been the best. Of course, it's going to come from an Aussie and that spectacular accent.
Yep.
They're not tolerating us. So, but the deeper question weaving in with what Tuberville had to say and Elon had to say, because I feel like it's a nice, neat package, is it all falls under that heading of suicidal empathy, which I think a lot of people had started to hear about toxic empathy, but the suicidal empathy. And what I would love to do on the other side and into the 3:00 hour is Chris and I usually do not talk at lunchtime because we're running around like crazy people. But I ask a couple of questions and I'm going to ask y'all why, really why? And this is for the other side. Why are we here? What's the foundation of our suicidality?
Oh, I thought you meant like, why are we here as human beings? Okay.
Because that one,
why are we here?
Why are we here? Why are we in the place that we will tolerate what doesn't even want to tolerate us? Why are we here in a place that we want to out nice our neighbor and it's killing us? Why are we in the place where we would believe that somewhere like Australia, could be any big blue city, but somewhere like Australia where they're not supposed to have guns, magically had weapons used against the citizens, where the cops really didn't apparently do a darn thing? Why? That's the thing that I wonder when I'm looking at this and I'm thinking about those sections of the montage. Why? And I would love to know from our listeners why, but get into that. Why? Because if we don't know why, we're just going to stay in this horrible, sewery, sludgy, lukewarm, nasty mess.
I think if we can't go back further, let's start where I thought you were going, which is what is the purpose of man? Why are we here? Mm-hmm. And I think if you start there, then you can kind of segue into why we're here. But I mean, why did God create man? To glorify God. Mm-hmm. Okay. If that is our chief end as human beings, to glorify God, how can where we are now in this instance be glorifying to God? We are letting someone who despises the Trinity, despises the gospel, despises, okay, they do actually believe Jesus was a prophet, which is kind of weird, but not the savior of the world, not dead, buried, resurrected. But why are we being empathetic? It doesn't mean you have to be hateful and unkind, but why are we being empathetic to the point of letting them kill us? Literally kill us for a religion that hates our God. That isn't congruent in my head. Those two things cannot exist together. You cannot say you serve God, your chief end is to glorify God, and yet let an ideology, a worldview, a religion that hates him take over and open the doors and roll out the red carpet for them. It just can't be.
I didn't want to interrupt your thought.
No, you had a sigh.
I didn't want to interrupt you. No, I think there's multiple layers to it. I think, first of all, there's a sect of Christianity, and this is a complete different rabbit hole, but there's Christians out there who believe that it's going to get worse before it gets better, and the end times, it just things keep getting worse and worse and worse and worse, and then Jesus will come and he'll save us all. So there's not really a point of doing anything. Where I'm of the belief that it is our job as Christians to try to Christianize our communities, Christianize our state, Christianize America, because somebody's way of life is going to win. I prefer it to be Christian, where built Western civilization to be as successful as it was. But there's that level to it. I also think there's a level of Western civilization in general, and America in general. We're so comfortable and soft. We haven't been invaded, traditionally. In like the last time was like Pearl Harbor, where we had an attack on our soil. So, or 9/11, I guess you could say, but it's still, we're very comfortable and soft. So I think there's a lot of Americans who just welcome them in and join the comfort of America, and we don't really see them as what they are, coming to invade our nation. But then I think the last layer is there is a part of it. The Great Replacement is real. So the question is, who wants that? Because whenever Biden and his administration, because Biden wasn't running the show, we know that, but the people who were running the show, they made it a point to keep the border as wide open as possible. It was intentional. So then you go, why is that? Do they want to replace white Americans? And why would they want to do that? Is it just, cheap foreign labor, or Social Security about to be bankrupt and we need the people? So there's so many layers to it, but I think those are kind of the three pillars of what it is. And they each got threads to pull of their own, but us as Christians, it should be our goal to Christianize our community. It shouldn't be to just let whoever come in, and because what's the point, So, and that's a whole theological debate within its own, and eschatological debate of its own. So I don't know.
Now you're meddling.
Sorry. I've been known to meddle.
That would be a good plunge subject someday.
Yeah.
Or a good podcast. Maybe that's more of where we do it. But I think it does matter, because if the world's going to end and it's just going to dissolve into chaos and terribleness, what's the point?
Exactly. Jesus will come and
go and collect seashells on the beach and play tennis until the rapture.
And then there's accelerationists who think, oh, if we speed up the chaos, we're bringing Jesus's return.
Right. Now you're really
sooner.
meddling.
Sorry, I'll shut up.
Okay, when we come back, I know
'Cause
Allison's going to take us out. I think it all goes together. I think it all goes together.
We'll try and put it together on the other side. We'll be right back.
to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP, reading your text before we roll into the 3 o'clock hour and have an even deeper conversation about a few more subjects. But first, JP, what do our friends in listener land have to say today? 833-687-4448 is the text line number if y'all want to let us know your thoughts. Michael from Moulton with a banger text. He says, too many young people have the opinion that our country wasn't founded with a sovereignty for God and Christianity and had nothing to actually do with our founders, and liberals think that conservatives are overreacting to a handful of Islamists chanting death to America. We shouldn't be letting them represent all Muslims in our minds and our country currently. So what do you do with that? I guess it's true. I think they've done a great job of separating that Christianity was the foundation of our whole revolution. And even like, this is a whole rabbit trail I'm not going to go down, but like, Ken Burns' documentary on the American Revolution that just came out, and it was so woke and tried to say it was multiculturalism, and there was a variety of religions that founded America. No, it's different denominations of Christianity. If you go back and look at the rules of, you couldn't even govern the colonies or be a governor of like the colonial states unless you were a Protestant Christian. The whole foundation of the Bill of Rights was that God gave you unalienable rights. It's all, if you can take God out of it, then they've done a good job. So I agree with Michael from that point of view. It's unbelievable how they were able to do that. All you got to do is read the Constitution, read the Bill of Rights and the Declaration of Independence. Yep.
God is everywhere in it.
Right.
So I would agree with that completely. And it's not Allah either. It's Yahweh. It's Christian God. Red from Tony says, it's also our job as Christians to fight against evil and not sit idly by.
Amen.
Chris from Starrett, Alabama says, the Westminster Shorter Catechism. Sorry. I went to Christian school. I should have known that. Question 1. What is the chief end of man? To glorify God and enjoy him forever.
It's a good word. We'd be all better off if we remember that on a daily basis.
Keith from Huntsville says, we're in this place because that was their plan. They move into a neighborhood, overwhelm it, infiltrate it, surrounding neighborhoods, overwhelm those too until they have a community. Then they get representative in our government that have the same agenda. Just look at New York and the money being funneled back to the pockets of these politicians, and the media are enabling this.
It's true.
Yeah. It's it's not past the point of no return, but if Christians don't speak up, then eventually it will be.
Why is it only two people, well, specifically right now, Tuberville? Why are they the only ones really pushing back? Why aren't there more like them?
Who's the other person?
Well, I said 2, and then I was like, it's only Tommy Tuberville.
Tuberville's the main one right
now. Tuberville just got a little bee in his bonnet, and he's kind of making that his platform right now, which is needed to be. It's a discussion that if we don't want to end up like London, England, Europe, we need to be having right now. So I'm here for it. Otherwise, I don't know why. Because you'll surely die very quickly. We'll be back.
So I want to remind you, Inspire Advisors is one of our sponsors, and they are doing amazing work. Look, I know this audience. You're the kind of folks who believe in standing up for your principles. You're good stewards of what you have for resources. What if the companies you are investing in, though, don't reflect your values at all? Well, that's why you need to meet Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors. Inspire Advisors, experts in the field of biblically responsible investing. Look, they can help you grow your bottom line while also being proud of what companies you invest in. Inspire Advisors. You got to check them out. Here's their website, www.moneypatternwealth.com. That's Inspire Advisors, www.moneypatternwealth.com, and tell them you heard about it on Rightside Radio.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. JP, Allison cannot figure out what side of the microphone she'd like her notes.
This round table really throws me off.
We need a new table.
Because you're right. Anyway, yeah, I've got issues.
We just need a bigger round table.
I think we need a square table.
I think also we need 2 more chairs.
Anyway.
Anywho, okay, so we are discussing suicidal empathy based on the montage that JP put together. We also read your text, which were awesome as always, usual. But we are digging into why we've arrived at suicidal empathy as the crown jewel of all public virtues. I mean, that's, if you're the most empathetic, then you're admitted. And if you're not, then of course they're going to call you names. So you are right. It really does come down to the question of man, like, why are we here? And the simple answer is the catechism. Mm-hmm. We're here to glorify God and enjoy him forever. You're also right, JP, that there are layers to this as to why we're here. And I'm wondering if you guys also think that it's because, and again, back to, I really did. I was like, Chris, why do you think we're here at this suicide empathy as, ta-da, I am the most empathetic, so much that, like you said, Allison, I will welcome them in and we will be great. Don't you think that there is, and we've talked about it on the show, but never in this context, an improper understanding of what it means to love your neighbor?
I was about to say that on a practical, what's changed the past whatever years in Western civilization is we've totally lost sight of God, but the ones that are even still in church or still call themselves Christians, many of them are biblically illiterate, and it's by design because their pastors are as well. And they've been led down a road that leads to this point. Until the pulpit pulls it back together, I don't think, because honestly, I see a lot of Christians. You look at what's happening to the Lutheran Church, the Episcopal Church, the Methodist Church, even the Presbyterian Church. I mean, we used to go to a Presbyterian church, PCA. It's kind of diverged a little bit as well. And so it's just creeping into all these denominations. And the more you have that, the harder it is to kind of rein it back in. And a lot of what's driving where we are is because the world has always historically kind of looked to Christians as the example. Even atheists or agnostics would say it's a good book. They live a good life. They're kind of the people you want to emulate. Jesus, he may not be resurrected and the savior of the world, but he's got some good points. So even the world follows us, and we're just leading them down to, what was it yesterday where we read somewhere in Europe that somebody invited to Muslim?
Oh, yes, I did. It was on X.
Yeah, he invited 2 kind of refugees to stay with him and ended up with his head chopped off.
Oh, it was actually 2 gay guys invited one guy in, and he chopped their heads off and put them in suitcases.
Okay.
Because the deal is, you're right, Allison. It is easier to empathize than it is to take a stand.
Well, that's kind of a microcosm of everything right there in that one story.
Yes, exactly.
Letting them in and then they kill you.
We let them in, ta-da, surprise. But there's also woven in there an improper understanding, yes, of love your neighbor. That's the whole story, the chop your heads off. There's an improper understanding of, y'all will love this one, we listen and we don't judge. Who are we to judge? We can't judge, which is not at all what the Bible is saying. We make judgments all day long. The law itself is our judge. And we know what we can and can't do based on the law. It is a judge. But also, we also thrown in there, because I feel like this is one of the underlying themes of our show, this subject and all that it entails, is also there's an improper understanding of history, which Elon talked about in a clip that I can't even remember if we played. And that's, you were talking yesterday about Shelby County schools. That's when I first came across this improper understanding of history, when I was involved, in church and a small group with high school girls, and they were really smart grade-wise. But then they told me one day on the way out the door, and it was exactly what Elon Musk said. I'm like, oh my gosh, that happened to me when my oldest child was a junior in high school. We had these juniors telling us in a worldview Sunday school class, George Washington was a slave owner. He was terrible. George Washington and this country was just founded by a bunch of hateful racists, and we are on stolen land. And I remember thinking, we are in Shelby County. We are in one of the reddest counties in the country. And they were horrified by George Washington. And so I said, he's one of my husband's heroes. Have you ever perhaps read a biography or actually read about him beyond your silly, I didn't say silly, foolish. In my head, I was screaming silly, foolish textbook. But that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, have you read the people you're talking about, like First Person, John Adams, George?
Yep. Jefferson.
Have you actually read about them? It was like I had a third eye and maybe a tail.
Well,
it had never occurred to them that the history that they were learning in Shelby County, Alabama, was absolutely and profoundly incorrect.
If you actually read what they wrote about slavery, I think it was Jefferson's quote that said it was like holding a wolf by the ears. You have to let it go, but you don't dare let it go. As if this was something they wrestled with, and they knew it was a moral evil, but also it was, and I'm not saying slavery was, obviously I'm not saying slavery was anything that should have been tolerated, but I mean, people say it's a lot easier now. Like back then, where I don't know, all of your nation's revenue at that time came from it. And so it was a very nuanced and hard thing. You can't just, snap your fingers and slavery goes away. Like, I don't know, if they were in that time, I bet they think about it a lot differently. It was not just something everybody was on board like, yep, slavery's a good thing. It was a very nuanced and hard topic that they all wrestled with. But that's the goal, is to demonize our founding fathers, because then the founding of America from the beginning is corrupted.
Well, and if we look at who stopped slavery, it was William Wilberforce in the Church of England, and many people lost their lives in the fight to end it. But then over in America, which we will talk about later if we dare, the first slave owner in the U.S. was a black man.
What?
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But slavery has existed since the beginning of time, and it is reprehensible no matter where it's practiced.
Have white people ever been slaves?
That's where the word slaves come from. Slavs. Slavic people were enslaved.
The Slavic people weren't dark white?
They weren't dark white. They were like straight up white. So that's a rabbit trail we'll take, because we need to have that conversation. But that's what's happened since the beginning of time. That's the wickedness of man. And you're right. They did have to wrestle through, what do we do? It's still wrong. But to pretend that demonizing anything good about our country is going to bring about something other than, well, it's suicidal empathy. And we're watching our country dwindle unless we stand up and go, absolutely not. Let's talk about what really happened, because you guys need to know what really happened.
Yeah.
But I just, this worship of suicidal empathy, aided and abetted by the church, the place that you said used to be counted upon for its logic and its reason and its compassion. Our compassion has been twisted, and our values have been turned into machetes against us by the Mohammedans. That's just what happened. And why is it that Tommy Tuberville is the only one who's saying,
well,
we're not doing it?
I do think this is the foundational question that I think our listeners should mull over, and I think it's the root of what we're talking about. Is it, we said the purpose of man was to glorify God. is it glorifying to God to allow his creation around you to turn to sin and atheism and degeneracy and chaos and Islam? Is that glorifying to God to allow your community to turn to that? Because not only do you have to live in that, your kids will grow up in that, and it will make it much harder for them to feel connection with God if they're constantly being indoctrinated. And for story time with drag queens in school, so is it glorifying to God to sit idly by as a Christian and allow the world around you in America to turn into what it's turning into, which is a non-Christian nation? I saw a picture the other day of New York City on Good Friday in the 1950s, and it was can't remember if it was the Empire State Building, but it was 3 buildings next to each other, and they each had a lit up cross, 3 in a row. Can you imagine? That would never happen in today's New York City. We'll get LGBTQ, lit up on the Empire State Building when it's Pride Month. We'll have, Islam being celebrated, but never, ever would we see Christianity be celebrated publicly in New York City. But not too long ago, it was, because America was much different back then. It's our suicidal empathy that has turned it into not a Christian. I mean, New York City is America. Like that is the beacon of the world, is New York City. And look what it's turned into. So I want the listeners and the Christians to think about that. Is it really glorifying to God to not get active and get engaged and turn, or let your society around you in America turn into godlessness? I think that's the root of what we're talking about.
I think you bring up a good point too about the kids and the next generation. If protecting America or Christianity now doesn't appeal to you personally in terms of, I know where I am, I know I'm secure and I'm going to heaven. Okay, do it for the next generation, for your kids, for your grandkids. What is it? Better to have a millstone tying around your neck and thrown into the sea than to cause a little one to stumble. The more you allow this junk, this LGBT, transing, Islamic, whatever junk into your community, into your home, into your schools, you will have the blood, potentially the eternal blood of those kids on your hands for the rest of your life and through eternity. So if that doesn't motivate you, I don't know what will. Okay. Didn't mince the words there.
Wow. We're meddling.
On that note, we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. So, guys.
Yes.
What are our thoughts before we move on to something massive about Tim Burchett and his bill?
Tim Burchett.
Burchett. Put a little East Tennessee in it.
As I said
Burchett.
I knew I said it wrong.
He's dadgummit.
Tim
That's what he says.
Burchett.
He says dadgummit. Tim
Burchett.
These knuckleheads up here in D.C.
I'm telling y'all.
I'll
tell you what.
So little thoughts wrapping up our suicidal empathy that basically we press pause on every couple days and then unpause because it's such an important conversation rolling into the Christmas season, being around family. What are you thinking?
We need to pull it together real quickly. We need to, I should get my package of gumballs that I bought.
Okay.
They're up on the shelf. I can get them down in a minute.
Why don't you get them down?
We need to, right now? Okay, hold on.
There's a reason for it.
Double bubble gumballs.
Oh man,
This is what we're going to do. Look, people.
I loved those things when I was a little kid. They're the
You know how
best.
quickly that food dye will kill us? But
Yeah,
we
pretty quickly.
We loved it. This is what some people need to grow.
Some gumballs.
Otherwise, we're not going to exist anymore.
Double
or
bubble.
we'll be in hijabs, praying 5 times a day under Sharia law. What else do we have? We can't. Well, there's no 21st birthday parties. There's
no 21st birthday parties. There is covering up. There is perhaps hope for Allison and I. Maybe we'll be part of the same harem because guys can have 4 wives. They would probably divorce us very quickly because we would talk their ears off.
We'd run a very smooth household, though.
We would be great. We wouldn't allow them to marry 9-year-olds because this is what they do. I'm sorry.
Wow.
It's out there on socials.
Wasn't
Look it up for
Muhammad like
yourself.
6?
Yes, he
9.
waited all with 9. It was. Did he wait until she was 9 or did he marry her at 6? It's all foul. Okay, it's foul, but that's what we're going to have. Why is Tommy Tuberville and this bloke from Australia the only 2 people who are saying anything about this? Why? Why are we on our show in Alabama, along with other people, I'm sure? Why is there not an outrage from our leaders across the country? Why is there not an outrage in Montgomery? Why?
Because
Why
we think it's not here. We think it's not a problem.
I mean, do you realize we had to say, oh, it's about noise pollution. That's why we don't want a center.
Yeah.
Really? Have you been and heard what it's like in Dearborn or Turkey or El Paso or Minnesota? They are telling us what they want to do to us. Convert us all. We have to follow Sharia law, pay the tax, or like the guy says on the socials, actually many of them are out there saying it, you will die. That is not a joke. When did we lose the ability to think clearly and know what is right or wrong? When? Because this is not hyperbole. This is just based on their own documents that they follow, their own words that are out in public, the public prayers that they are performing repeatedly so that they tell us we're here. And we can barely decide that the Bible still means what it means on marriage and the family. When are we going to wake up? When?
I can't even say when. I had something, but I will refrain. But it might be too late. I'll just say that. It might be too late. Because as much as we'd like to think we can, the 3 of us can't do it alone. I will try, but it's going to take a little more than us. We'll do our part, though. because I just don't want to die a slow death just waiting. I'll choose to fight.
Let's go down swinging.
Fight. Anyway, it is exhausting, but we're going to keep going. We'll be back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. Now I know what it's like to be a mom because our faces that we make with each other in the studio, now I know what my family goes through on a daily basis. And they're like, what, Mom?
What? Mom. Okay, I just was going to do a FIFA World Cup Pride Egypt Iran
Pitbull
update.
That song with J-Lo.
I still don't even know what song you're talking about.
I don't even know.
I wasn't looking for that.
As an introduction. Anyway, go on.
Okay, I was going to do that, and then I was going to look up because we were going to talk about the Taliban bill that Tim Burchett is just all fired up about because he said Republicans are the ones that wouldn't take it out or wouldn't pass the bill. Anyway, this popped up when I went to the X's, the Twixes, the Twitter X's.
Yeah, the Twixes.
The boomers call it. Breaking. Now, I don't know if this is true. Breaking. Susie Wiles trashes President Trump. How'd you not tell us these things?
I saw it this morning. I don't know.
JP.
Sorry.
You can't be casual about that.
Do you have a clip?
No, it's an interview.
It's an interview. Trashes President Trump's top individuals within his administration and MAGA in a new interview with radical left Vanity Fair. She compared Trump to an alcoholic, said that she said that she urged him not to pardon the January 6th political prisoners, called J.D. Vance a lifelong conspiracy theorist. Oops. Guilty as charged too. And said that his conversation to MAGA was political, attacked Project 2025 architect Russell Voigt and right-wing zealot. This is written not well at all. Anyway, she just totally went off on President Trump. This is on CNN. Oh, shoot.
What?
Then that means it's true if CNN's reporting it, right?
No, it is true because JD Vance talked about it today, actually.
Hold up for a second. How many more hours will she be there? Also, tell us you're a sewer creature without telling us you're a sewer creature.
Why does Trump do this? I thought, by the way, Don Jr. got engaged last night. Or the night before, whatever.
To the girl from Palm Beach?
Yeah, whatever. Bettina. Good luck.
Cute.
Wish him well.
Okay.
But why? Why? I thought we learned. And she's been in his orbit forever. So did she get compromised? Or has she been a snake the whole time?
I think she's been a snake the whole time. I think she thought she was going to get her way. This is just spitballing here. I think she's been a snake the whole time. I think if you look at what she did before she was with Trump, and she was hot and heavy as a lobbyist with Pfizer. Mm-hmm. I mean, she did some super shady things that the sewer would love, just not us. And I think that somehow, what was it, 3 weeks ago, we kind of started to see a shift in Trump.
Yeah.
And we saw that he was he didn't really say that it was her, but there was that implication that he was being held back.
Yeah.
So I think since that time, whoever was able to broke through. And now she's like, well, I might as well go out like the flight attendant on the Spirit Airlines. I'm opening up the side door and I'm going down the slide.
You think that's what she's doing? Like, I'm going out with a bang?
Going out with a bang. She's not going to stay.
Girls
don't do this. I mean, do you think women go trash who they're working with if they plan to stay? It's like as soon as you break up with somebody, you're like, well, they trash them. And you're like, well, what were you doing with them in the first place then?
I think, remember Trump said, basically, don't cross Susie. She starts wars. And that was his SOS, like his way of going, help me. And
we're getting some people that are saying that Vanity Fair, who did the interview, skewed what she said and took it out of context. But and I saw JD Vance say today, he made a joke about like, well, I only believe in the conspiracy theories that are true. Ha ha ha.
Oh, that's funny.
But I'm not even upset about her comparing Trump to an alcoholic or saying that about JD Vance or whatever. I'm like, she said herself that she advocated for Trump not to pardon the J6ers. That's what I don't like, that she's not to the right enough. I think she's an old school Republican that thinks that it's still like the 90s or 2000s or something, and everything's about the midterms and optics. And there's been reports that she's been wanting to obstruct with the ICE deportations because it's a bad look for the midterms. Yeah, I'm against Susie Wiles because from what I could see and what she said herself about the J6ers, that she's not to the right enough. And she is Trump's chief of staff. So she has a lot of sway. And there was a big fight between her and Bongino, during the Epstein stuff. Everything I've seen about her is not good. And I think that another one too is the, deportations with, farm, big ag and the hotel companies. Like, I don't know. I'm not even upset about maybe Vanity Fair did skew her words about Trump being an alcoholic or acting like one and whatever. That's not even what I'm upset about. I'm upset about what she said, like being truthful about the J6ers and not like her actions. I don't care about the tabloid. She said this about Trump. That's not what, frustrates me. It's not enough actions being done. She's not to the right enough. So I don't know. I actually don't think she's going to be gone. I think she's around to stay because the Trump administration came out and said that they're backing her. So
maybe they'll change their mind.
I don't. Should I say it?
Say it. What?
I mean, if you look at his administration, the women are not doing so well. And it just makes you wonder, like, why?
Tell me the women.
I mean, Pam Bondi, I saw that he's thinking about getting rid of Kristi Noem. I mean, Kash Patel, I heard Dan Bongino's thinking about leaving again. Then you got Susie Wiles. It's like, it's just, Tulsi's doing really well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she's being as effective, but maybe she works more.
She's got a lot more swamp to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, why are the women so difficult? Like, why would you go out and is there no loyalty? Do you not have any couth and like respect for yourself? You just don't do that to your boss. Even if you were, I don't even think she was kidding. I don't know in what way she was saying. He doesn't even drink alcohol. So I don't know why she was saying he was like an alcoholic, but maybe with Diet Coke.
Huh.
But it's just in poor form. You don't do that. But women get so, I don't know if she's feeling the heat and this was just a release for her and I'll show you. I can go to Vanity Fair. I don't know. I just don't like it. I don't know. I just think it's tacky. Don't do that.
And Connor from Huntsville actually just texted in what you were saying. The big question is why even go to Vanity Fair for an interview in the first place? You know this is what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, look at MTG. I don't know where I stand on all that. I still can't figure out. Again, that's in the Candace Owens, Tucker, Nick realm for me at this point. But it's just always so dramatic. Like, if you want to be there, be there. And if you don't, leave. It doesn't have to be this whole petty high school, I'm going to talk about you on X and I'm going to talk about you on Vanity Fair. Like, just stay or go.
And but don't forget to add that, and I'm going to hug your neck at the Christmas party like nothing was ever said at all.
Well, yeah, there's that.
Did you see the John Crist?
Yeah.
They all friends.
So are we all being played?
I think we're all being played. Nothing that they do is not calculated. Everything's planned. Everything. So I will be interested to see. I don't know if she stays. I just don't think she will, but I'm wrong a lot. I could be very wrong about this. I think she needs to go. She does not fit what he said he wanted to do. And I don't know if he knew how. Well, I think he probably did. I just think she needs to go. But I also, though, at the same time, think they plan everything.
Well, we talk about the establishment infiltrating Trump and his administration again. Susie Wiles is the definition of it. And she's the tip top. So I don't know. It's frustrating. You'd like to get a younger, gunslinger in there. But if we're talking about the GOP swamp and the Republicans of old, Susie Wiles embodies that. And I agree with you. Like, what's the point of even going to Vanity Fair and doing a ha-ha interview if that's what this was? Because they're obviously going to skew it. But like I said, she wasn't ha-haing about not wanting Trump to pardon the J6ers. So
let's just put Stephen Miller in there. He would be awesome.
Can we all just not be like him?
I was not a fan. I have not historically really liked him. Maybe I'm getting laned again. Maybe he isn't what he seems, but he has been on point lately.
Agree.
Jeff from Indiana also says, I wonder if Susie's going to start hanging out with her best bud, Liz Cheney now.
Yeah. See, they deserve each other. That's who yes. Yeah.
We need a sound effect button. The song Things That Make You Go,
Trump does value loyalty.
Yes.
And so maybe she has been very loyal to him, even if she didn't show her true colors, which I get. But at some point, you got to just cut it. It's not working well. He's losing his base in so many ways because of her. And I guess maybe he doesn't have to play for his base anymore. I mean, he's not. I guess he could run for Congress or something.
Oh, my word. Don't put it past him.
Run for VP.
Speaker.
Run for VP and then have Vance step down.
Wait, would that work?
That's a loophole.
Could he do it? You've already served your terms.
Well, from my understanding is you can't run for president more than twice.
Okay.
So the loophole I've seen is, Vance have a Vance Trump ticket. Vance wins, steps down. Trump becomes president. That's it's not going to happen, but it's a funny loophole. But on the Susie Wiles thing, what was the report about potentially a lot of GOP congressmen leaving soon because their frustration with the White House and their constant meddling and putting their weight on? That'd be like a Susie Wiles person that would do that. That is kind of right up her alley when it comes to stuff like, okay, so let me preface it this way. If they're putting their weight on them to do stuff, that's good. Putting your weight on them to not do stuff is not good. Yeah. That's the reports that I've seen. A lot of GOP congressmen are upset because it's just constant. And the Epstein files was a major one. But, we need Congress to go and codify this stuff. If we have DOJ that goes and finds all this stuff and then the GOP swamp doesn't want to codify it for whatever reason, which I think is an indictment of its own, that's where it's a problem. So I don't know. I agree with Allison. I think Trump's too loyal to do that, and we're kind of too far into the term to have a major shakeup. But I wish he would, because a lot can get done right away if we have the right chief of staff in there, and maybe the midterms can be saved. But I don't know. I don't trust Susie Wiles one bit.
No, not at all.
The congressmen that are frustrated, I mean, I get it. It's my same issue with Montgomery. Montgomery is exactly like it. Like, the governor's office is so intertwined with the legislature. And it should not be like that. Literally, the legislature, I was at an event where somebody was being honored for a bill that they...
I remember
You
this.
were there, Abs.
Yep.
And they got up and thanked Governor Kay Ivey for just allowing this bill to get passed. And I was like, I looked around like it was a Republican GOP event. I'm like, what? Nobody else thinks that? What?
Yeah.
No, you don't
Weird.
go have to kiss the ring at the governor's office to pass a bill. It shouldn't be like that. That's why you have separation, checks and balances. And that's what's happening. And the Congress is getting frustrated because they can't do anything without kissing the ring. Probably Susie Wiles.
Yeah.
Y'all.
We have to take a break. We'll be back. We also have Andrew Sorrell, current state auditor, candidate for Secretary of State. He will be in the studio at 4:00, which is going to be kind of wild. We'll be back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP, getting ready for our 4:00 interview. So that means we have to sit up a little straighter and be a little more,
Okay.
We have had quite the day, though, talking about a banger montage that JP put together dealing with suicidal empathy, several clips to that end, talking about what happened in Sydney, asking the question, how did we get here to the point where this is like acceptable? Asking the question, why is Tommy Tuberville and the MP from Australia the only people that are saying, yeah, we're done with all this?
Who was that? All I wrote down was Australian goat. I wasn't sure who that was.
Let me look it up. I think it was Amy Beth, or I think you're the one that sent to me, right? Yeah.
Was he in the parliament? Or
Australian MP Bob Catter.
What's an MP?
He's a member of parliament.
Okay.
Oh, he was.
That makes
Okay.
sense,
Yeah. Okay. So just why? Why aren't more people outraged? So we've had a really good discussion today. And as we
finish
this hour, we will tiptoe into Tim Burchett's
Burchett.
Dadgummit.
East Tennessee. Burchett. You can't say Burchett.
Burchett.
He's about as redneck as they come.
Burchett. I did that like Sesame Street. Burchett.
Where they start to come together.
Guys, I thought the Taliban was not a thing anymore.
Oh, they're running Afghanistan right now. So
I mean, didn't you think like it was gone? It's over. We have defeated the Taliban.
It's kind of like hearing the name Saddam Hussein. You just like you don't bring it up anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
we've moved on to ISIS.
Yeah, there's plenty of other things to worry about. But apparently, friends, we've sent $900 million to the Taliban. And the bill to stop the funding has been held up by somebody from the Biden administration.
Oh, the little biscuit that he said he was upset. What was that? Keep going.
So the same group, I guess Thomas West, but part of Biden's Taliban envoy, the tweet said Thomas West. So the same group that surrendered Afghanistan, I am not talking about the people who executed the withdrawal. I'm talking about the people at the top who did not do what was right. And remember, it was supposed to be a long drawn out process, planned for, done, and then boom, we're doing it right now. Okay. I'm talking about the people in DC. That's who I'm talking about. They are involved in making sure that we continue to spend, I believe, and send $40 million a week.
Oh, it's something. It's something.
I mean, it's
crazy.
Outrageous.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but now that you say that, the little biscuit West, whatever.
Yes.
Apparently didn't get his security clearance for something, so he's holding up Burchett's bill to stop sending money to the Taliban, which I guess we just passed the NDAA, which now we're still spending. In it had $800 million for Ukraine and still funding the Taliban.
Yeah.
Like, are we not past this?
And recognizing an Indian tribe in North Carolina.
Oh,
Why?
I saw that. Why? What?
That's not national defense. It's so dumb.
Yeah.
There's so many different ways of how that's messed up. $900 billion in total for
the NDAA.
NDAA. Yeah. And
that's what you do.
But yeah, the backwardness of we literally gave up Afghanistan to the Taliban, but yet we're still sending them, was it, you said 40 million a week or something like that via NGOs. Why are NGOs funding our enemy?
Well,
and the Taliban?
That's a great question. And why are they able to go lobby for more money and get more money? How is that even a thing? Tim
Burchett
ran a hearing. It was
great.
Ran a hearing.
Burchett ran a hearing, and several whistleblowers were talking about the whole process. And I had to watch it 3 times because I thought, is this happening? Were people from an NGO? Also, I thought we got rid of those 2. Clearly we didn't.
Well, they shut Doge down.
Yeah.
But have y'all seen Marco Rubio with the very, crazy idea to just give the money straight to the governments?
That's whoa.
I don't
do
know.
that.
I don't know why it took us so long to get here, but if we're funding governments, why don't we just give the money to the government instead of Black Lives Matter so they can go buy Malibu homes? I don't know. That's the equivalent of what's happening in all these countries.
You're making too much sense, Allison. We got to go to break.
Stop it.
We'll be back with Andrew Sorrell, who's like all the things down in Montgomery. We'll be back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair, JP, and now we are joined by State Auditor Andrew Sorrell, who is running for Secretary of State. How are you today?
I'm great. It's good to be with y'all. Love y'all's new studio, and the fact that you're on this time slot is exciting.
Thank you. Thanks for being here today.
Kind of a weird switch up, but here we are.
Yeah, I know.
Unexpected. Hey, feel free to eat your Reese's. We're really laid back.
Okay.
You have snack break whenever you would like.
All right.
I want to start out real quickly. Tell us just quickly about yourself and how in the world did you get to be the state auditor? Because nobody even knows what the state auditor is.
Yeah, I look back on my life, and this is not what I thought I'd be doing with my life. When I was growing up, my goal was not to be an elected official. I did get interested in politics when I was listening to Rush Limbaugh back in the 2004, 5, 6 era. I'd started a home-based business. I was working out of my parents' porch, selling stuff on the internet, selling college textbooks mostly on Amazon and eBay. And just out of boredom one day, I flipped on the radio and started listening to Glenn Beck and Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity. And that changed me. I went from being a Republican because my dad was a preacher to being a conservative because there's so many good reasons to be a Republican. And some of those I think are religious reasons. But there's many, many other reasons, national defense, the economy, all types of other issues that we talk about. And Limbaugh helped kind of develop my political philosophy at a young age. In 2008, Barack Obama got elected. And I was like, wait, we lost? This one's supposed to happen. When I started following elections in about 2000 in 8th grade, we won. And in 2004, we won. And then all of a sudden, we've lost. Now what do we do? And then I remember watching Obamacare pass. I was at a pizza buffet and they passed it. And I was like, I can't believe they just socialized healthcare in this country. So I began getting involved in volunteering on other people's races. And I was kind of like, what's the status of the local Republican Party? I was living in Lauderdale County at the time in Florence in a 1-bedroom apartment. Well, it was not a good status. It was 26 elected officials in Lauderdale County. And I think we had one, or at the second one, it just won. We had a female, Carol Medley, had just won district judge. So I think we had 2 out of 26 Republicans in Lauderdale County. And I was like, that's unacceptable.
Yes.
Hey, this is crazy. So we started volunteering, running other people's races, me and my brother. And we were kind of a bad luck charm. Everybody we helped lost. And then we realized we really don't know what we're doing. And I said, wouldn't it be great if we could go to a school and learn how to run political campaigns? And Matthew said, well, they do have a school. I was like, they do? Sign me up. The Leadership Institute in Arlington, Virginia. So we went there. We signed up for a week-long campaign management school. Now, I did not sign up for the future candidate school. Again, never thought I would be the candidate myself. I thought I'm going to run other people's campaigns. After we left that week, which, by the way, it was intense. We were there till like 8 o'clock every night. I mean, it was an intense school. We get home and I was like, I understand why all of these candidates are losing. We're doing everything. We're knocking the wrong doors. We're not spending our budget appropriately. We're not targeting the right people with our mail. And we're not recruiting good candidates. So we started to change those things. And in 2012 and in 2014, we started volunteering for these races that were, quote, unwinnable in Lauderdale County. And we started winning them. And our candidates started getting, not by much. Joe Hackworth got 53% in 2014. But we beat a 3-term incumbent Democrat. And then our next project was the commission chairman, and we flipped that seat and so on. And we began to be campaign managers for other local Republicans in Lauderdale County. And we kind of made a name for ourselves locally, winning races that just everyone's like, they're not supposed to win these races. Then all these tax fights started coming up out of nowhere. Everyone wanted to raise taxes, sales taxes, property taxes, and they kept going on the ballot in Colbert County, in Athens City, in Jackson County. So I started opening up political action committees and fighting these things. And we go out and raise $5,000, and we're going up against, Athens City. I think they had over $100,000. And the construction companies that wanted the contracts to build the new schools were donating to the Vote Yes campaign. They were literally using public resources to promote the Vote Yes campaign, which, by the way, I helped end when I was in the legislature a few years later. That's corrupt. We don't need public money in elections, but it was totally legal at the time. So we managed to win those tax fights and save taxpayers in North Alabama hundreds of millions of dollars. And I just fell deeper and deeper into politics. And then I realized there was a 28-year incumbent Democrat sitting in House District 3 that needed to be challenged. He needed a good opponent. And I finally decided I would run myself. Now, at the time, I'm about 29 years old and single. Probably not the best candidate, but I was an entrepreneur. I had several successful businesses, and I thought I'd run on my small business record. Y'all know the story of how I met my wife. I bumped into her on a bus in Italy. The first question she ever asked me was, do you like politics? So we instantly bonded.
It's love.
And I said, Hannah, are you willing to move to Alabama? You know, she was from New Hampshire. Are you willing to move to Alabama if we get married? She said, yes. And I said, well, I want to run for state house. She said, well, tell me about the race. I said, well, I'm going to challenge a 28-year incumbent in a district that's been blue for 150 years. She's like, that sounds terrible. Why would you ever want to do that? And I said, because I'm tired of watching this fellow vote the opposite of what I know the values of the Shoals are. The Shoals has always been conservative. It was old Union Democrat. And the union members kept voting Democrat. And it was funny, when I ran for House, a bunch of union members were like, hey, don't tell anyone, but I'm voting for you. And I went to this one guy's house, and he's got my opponent's yard sign up. So I knock his door and I said, you said you were going to vote for me. He said, I am voting for you. I said, why do you have my opponent's sign in your yard? He said, oh, the union came by and put that up. He said, but don't worry, I can't tell them, but I'm with you.
Wow.
I was like, and that's how we flipped the Shoals. Me and Jamie Keel and Larry Stutz, we started flipping all those seats up there. So I end up in the Alabama legislature at age 32, and then carried some legislation for State Auditor Jim Ziegler and got interested in the position. I realized he was term limited, and I asked my wife, what do you think about me running statewide? Entered a race in a field of 5. I was polling at 3% in last place, gradually climbed the polling, set a fundraising record for that position, and ended up winning it in a runoff in June of 2022. Did not have a Democrat opponent in the general. Oh. So I've enjoyed serving as your auditor for, it'll be 3 years next month.
So 2 questions. What do you do as state auditor? And you told us a little fact about your job as state auditor that's unheard of in politics. Can you talk to us about that?
Sure. Yeah. Let's start with what the auditor does. And you're right, not a lot of people know. When I was running for auditor, that was the number one question I got is, what does the auditor do? I don't get that question about Secretary of State. Most people know Secretary of State, elections, business services. The auditor has 3 duties. You serve on the Board of Adjustment, along with the treasurer, the Secretary of State, and the finance director. Currently, I am the chair of the Board of Adjustment. On a 4-member board, you can obviously assume there's sometimes a tie vote. Whoever is serving as chair, their vote counts double. So we basically adjudicate claims against the state. We're not exactly a judicial body, but we function as one. In fact, there's no appeal from the Board of Adjustment. You cannot appeal any ruling to the Supreme Court or any other court. We are the one and only place to go. If the state owes you money, you cannot sue the state of Alabama in a court of law. But you can put a claim in with the Board of Adjustment. And if these 4 board members feel that you are owed money, then we can reimburse you. So for instance, if a Department of Labor employee backs into your pickup truck or something like that, you have to file a claim. If you hit a pothole on the interstate or whatever, like all the different things that happen. We get like $30 million of claims every quarter. And sometimes we get big ones. We have wrongful death claims for $5 million against the state troopers, for instance. And all these are public. You can come and you can sit in on the meetings. They're fascinating. I'm not an attorney, but there's a couple attorneys who serve on the board with me, and it's good. We can get that perspective. But we want to make sure that if people are owed the money, that they get paid. But if they are not owed the money, we don't want to pay them, because that's taxpayer money we're handing out. Like that comes out of a bucket of the general fund that the legislature appropriates every year. And that's all taxpayer money that's being paid out. So serve on the Board of Adjustment. Then I appoint registrars. And this is really important because in 66 out of 67 counties in Alabama, the registrars are appointed by the governor, the agricultural commissioner, and the state auditor. Jefferson County being the exception. There was a law passed in 1978 that allowed any county with a population of over 500,000 to appoint their own registrar. The county commission picks their registrar. Well, that only applied to one county in the state, and it doesn't apply going forward. So for instance, if Baldwin County were to expand their population, the law won't include them. It's only at the time the law was passed. So this law was passed for a specific county for a specific purpose. And it prevents.
What was that purpose?
Well, I think that they wanted local control over who their registrar was, which may sound good, but let me remind everybody listening that we have a majority on the Jefferson County Commission right now as a Republican Party. But if Mike Boland had lost his seat, we would not.
Right.
And then we would have the Democrat-controlled county commission picking who the registrar is in the largest county in the state. And need I remind you, these are the only people in the county that can register you to vote or deregister you from voting. So the people to keep the voter rolls clean, I don't like Democrats in charge of that. I don't trust Democrats on election integrity, just to be quite frank. Right now, you have Republican governor, ag commissioner, and auditor appointing the registrars in this state. And that's the way it works in 66 counties. In Barber County, there's a 4th registrar appointed by the county commission. Again, a whole nother story behind that one. It was a local bill for a very specific reason. But I'm a proponent of we need all the counties to be the same. They all need to be appointed. because, we may not control the county commission in a certain county, but right now it's very likely Republicans are going to continue controlling the statewide offices. And we've been able to clean up the board of registrars, put conservatives on there who believe in election integrity. And people are like, what, do you only appoint Republicans? No, I appoint people who believe in election integrity. But you know what? If that rules out a certain political party, that's not my fault. I wish everyone agreed on election integrity, but the fact is they don't. So that's the second duty. I appoint registrars, which also got me very interested in the Secretary of State's position. And then the third thing we do is we audit all the state's property. So we don't audit people, right? We're not the IRS. We're not Department of Revenue. We only audit governmental entities. There's about 180 of them. There's $1.3 billion worth of taxpayer property in Alabama. We're not talking about the real estate. We're talking about the personal property items, the pickup trucks, the shotguns, the Aldot equipment. All of that stuff goes on the property rolls, and we keep track of it.
Down to like iPads and computers?
Down to $500.
$500.
That's the cutoff,
okay.
$500.
That's a lot of stuff to keep up with.
It is. And with inflation, more and more stuff goes on the rolls. So I'm going to be introducing a bill that will allow us to index that 500 number to inflation, because 80 years from now, we don't need to be, putting water bottles on the, that's, well, of course, consumable personal property, we don't audit either, but you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yes.
We don't want our rolls, our property rolls are already exploding, and we're going to have to hire more people, which, I don't think is the original intent of the legislature. So let's just index it to inflation. I think that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
But we do a really good job. We typically lose less than 1% of the state's property in a year. And when I say lose, it's not even all, like that could be, for instance, we had fires break out. Last quarter was a bad quarter for whatever reasons. 3 different buildings caught on fire in Alabama, and property was destroyed. So it wasn't lost. It wasn't stolen. It was just destroyed by a fire, which is, unavoidable. And some of that insurance will also reimburse for. But oftentimes it's as little as 0.25% of the property goes missing every year. And I'm proud of the job our office does. On a budget of just over $1 million, we track $1.3 billion worth of taxpayer property.
Oh, wow.
Now, you asked me about something that I've done that a lot of other elected officials can't say they've ever done. And that is I've cut my own budget. I actually we have to put our budget request in October every year for the next fiscal year for the governor and the legislature to then consider. I put in for a 1% budget decrease this year. Like, that's how efficiently we're running the office. And you don't see government employees, agencies, department heads ever requesting a cut to their own budget. But we don't have the attitude of, oh, it's the end of the fiscal year, we have $10,000 left, let's go blow it or we won't get it next year. We don't operate that way. If we have money left over, we're going to roll it over. We're going to be responsible. We're not putting our employees in, we want good vehicles, but they don't have to be brand new. They don't have to be Escalades, right? A Ford Taurus works just fine to get you from point A to B to go conduct an audit. And we
thought about Ford Taurus in years. They still make them?
I don't even know.
Okay.
But we had one, and that's the reason I mentioned Taurus. And we didn't even pay for that. We got it transferred from another agency. So, when the governor put out her executive order to downsize the vehicle fleets, and all these agencies were looking to offload vehicles, and we're like, hey, we need a couple of vehicles. We didn't even pay for them. We got some used vehicles completely for free.
That's the way you do it.
Yeah. I moved our staff. We were renting from RSA, which I'm happy to support RSA, but let's be real. Those are some nice buildings in Montgomery, and the rent's not cheap. And our rent was about to triple.
Oh, wow.
And our lease was running out. And I asked the governor, can you move us back in the Capitol? There was apparently a disagreement back in the Riley days, and the auditor was bumped out of the Capitol.
They didn't like you?
Not the auditor himself, but the staff for the auditor was removed from the Capitol.
Oh.
So for 15 years, Alabama taxpayers have been paying as the auditor rents space in Montgomery for their staff. Whereas what I did is I went back to the governor. I met with her chief of staff, Liz Fillmore, and I said, can you get us back in? She said, yes. We're in the basement, but hey, it's free. That's right. We don't pay utilities. We don't pay internet. We don't pay secure. All that stuff is just free. And I'm saving us $30,000 a year by doing that.
We've got to take a break. I hope you can stick around. We want to hear your plans for Secretary of State and what you're going to do there. If we can get into that on the other side, we'll be back with Andrew Sorrell.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. We are having a fabulous conversation with State Auditor Andrew Sorrell, who's running for Secretary of State. There is a story when we talked off air about what we wanted to get to. Fort Deposit.
Oh,
what in the ever-loving world is happening?
I don't even know where Fort Deposit is.
Oh, let's start there. It's if you're heading south out of Montgomery on I-65, you get down near Priesters Pecans.
Oh, know
okay.
where that
Yep.
is.
Okay. And you see an exit. It says Fort Deposit Logan.
Oh,
That's the exit. So
Okay.
we're talking southern Lowndes County.
okay.
And we're talking the biggest corruption story with Alabama elections in probably the last decade.
Why is
That-
no one talking about
That's
this? 'Cause
what I said.
I didn't.
It was nowhere. Nobody in the state was talking about this until I took it to Yellowhammer in 1819. I talked about it on air with Yaffe,
okay.
and he actually wrote a story up on Yellowhammer, and then 1819 picked it up and they carried it. So now some people are beginning to talk about it, but still most people have never heard of what's going on down there. They had about 900 votes in Fort Deposit in the municipal elections. Back
How many
in
people
August.
live in Fort Deposit?
Less than that.
Oh, that's sorry.
So let's
okay,
start
that's
there.
What?
Okay.
But
Okay.
that's only
Oh, crap. I'm sorry.
That's
That was
only
me.
scratching the surface of the problems. Okay. That yes, they have less than 900 registered votes. So more votes were cast than they have registered voters in the city. That's problem number one.
It's a miracle. What?
Would it sound suspicious to you if I told you that over half of those votes were absentee?
Yes.
Okay. So good, because that should. In the average election, 5% of votes are absentee.
Yeah. Where'd everybody go?
Okay.
They all on a beach trip?
Yeah. No
Holy
idea.
cow.
Okay. So anytime if I start seeing numbers over 10%, I'm getting suspicious that there's election fraud going on. All right. But we're off the charts where over half of the votes cast were absentee votes. Then of those half of the absentee votes didn't have names on them.
What?
Okay. So you know how, if you ever voted absentee,
Yes.
okay. So you fill out your ballot, you put it in an envelope, you put all your information on it, and you put it in another envelope, put your information on it again, you know, and then look at the outer envelope and determine if your vote should count and then separate it and all that. There's a whole process for it. No names on the ballots. And when they asked the people run the elections there, they said, well, we've never really required that. This is how we always do it.
This is how we always do it.
This is how we've always done it.
Which, to your point, this is why your board of registrars is so important. Why
Yes.
you have to have legit, non-corrupt. I'm not saying they are, but I'm just saying you've got to have people you trust there.
I'll tell you the other half of the story when we come back on the other side.
Oh,
That's
are
only
you-
half of it.
Look at how responsible he
Holy
is.
cow. Okay.
Acknowledging that break.
Dang.
And here comes the music. Okay. Yeah.
I had no
this
idea.
is wild. I guess now I understand why nobody's talking about it.
Yeah.
Because we're the gold standard, Andrew.
I
we're the gold
don't use
standard.
that phrase. We are ranked number 3 in election integrity in America, which is good in a sense, but also scary in a sense because we still have a lot of problems with our elections. And we're ranked number 3, although we're slipping. We were 2 last year and we were 1 the year before.
You better bring us back. All right. On the other side, we'll be back with Andrew Sorrell. More on Fort Deposit. Don't want to mess it up.
And my friends, Phil Williams here. You've heard me talk about Inspire Advisors, how Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors will help you grow your investment portfolio while also screening out the companies that don't stand for conservative Christian principles. Look, they are experts in what is known as biblically responsible investing. And they are now offering a limited opportunity for a free class on that BRI. Check out the class, register for free, their website, www.moneypatternwealth.com. It's godly, it's conservative, it's financial freedom, y'all, with Inspire Advisors at www.moneypatternwealth.com. Check them out. Tell them you heard about it on Rightside Radio.
to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP, with State Auditor Andrew Sorrell, who is running for Secretary of State and who has walked us through, just very quickly, 900 people in the town of Fort Deposit, or not 900 people, 900 ballots.
900 ballots were cast.
Half of those were absentee.
Right.
And nameless.
Half of the absentee were nameless. That's correct.
That's precious.
Yes. So that's never, those should definitely be thrown out. Not be, but of course they weren't. They were all counted.
And they said, this is
how
the way
we do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy was
We need
almost
a song for that. Thank you.
The guy almost sounded confused. Like, well, this is how we've always done it for deposit. Like, what's the problem? It's like, well, the problem is you had more people vote than are registered to vote here. And half of them were absentee and half of the half had no name on them. But sadly, the story doesn't even end there. Okay. It gets where there's another layer to this. The half that did have a name on them, when you vote absentee, you have to either get it notarized or you have to have two witnesses. The same two witnesses witnessed like almost all of the ones that did have. So like the same two people in the town witnessed like half of the absentee ballots.
Sure.
What's the problem?
Sure.
Those are the people that were planning the beach trip. And so they just said, hey, we'll just do your app. I mean, what in the world?
Wait until you hear who the two people were that did it.
Oh, it gets worse.
Oh.
The two people who witnessed all the ballots were on the ballot themselves. It was the mayor and a city councilman who shockingly both won re-election.
What?
Isn't that incredible? Yes.
At least, I mean, at this point, you're already breaking so many laws. At least make up a name.
Yeah.
Don't put your mayor name down.
Listen, to this day, I'm not saying they're not coming. Okay. I don't know what the AG or the DA might be working on. Haven't seen a criminal charge yet.
Okay.
And this has been 4 months since this election happened. Now, thankfully, somebody did sue about the election and the election went to circuit court. And thankfully, a good judge, a friend of mine named Cleve Poole, happens to be over that circuit. Cleve is a Republican and Cleve ordered a new election. So that's good. So in early January, there's going to be a whole new election in Fort Deposit. So right now, there is no mayor. Most of the council are not seated. The only people who are allowed to be seated are two councilmen who ran unopposed. Okay. So we know they won fair and square. But everyone else, there's like the whole town's running with two councilmen and no mayor right now. And the taxpayers are having to pay to run a whole nother election. But the bigger problem than that is that no one's being held accountable, at least as of yet. I hope there are some charges coming because obviously votes were being stolen here, right?
Yes.
And this probably isn't the first time.
I mean, Boss Hogg couldn't have come up with a better scheme himself.
Yeah.
But
now, how was this story
crazy.
not statewide news immediately?
Yeah.
Don't know.
Andrew, you can answer that yourself.
I think there's people that don't want it to be. I think they don't want this broadcasted. But I'm broadcasting because I'm running for Secretary of State and I care. And yes, do I care about people stealing the 2020 presidential election? You bet I do. But let's be real. Nobody's trying to steal a presidential election in Alabama. You can't sway enough votes to flip it from Trump to Biden or something in Alabama. What can you do? You can flip a local race. Yes. You can flip a county commission seat. You can flip a local mayor. And it happens all the time. There are people who are ballot harvesting. There are people who are signing absentee ballot requests for people in nursing homes that aren't even like awake. They're like in a coma and voting for those people got caught down in Mobile. There's a county commission candidate in Clay County who harvested like 19 ballots illegally. And of course he was paying money for the ballots and then voting for himself and sending them back in. And like this stuff happens all the time, which is why we need a new division of election integrity in the Secretary of State's office. And that's one of my main platform planks is we're going to root out the fraud and corruption in Alabama elections. And when stuff like this happens, we're going to publicize it. And then hopefully we're going to get some law enforcement who's serious about prosecuting this stuff. I own a couple retail businesses. We don't catch every shoplifter. Okay. Some of them get away with it. But when we do catch one, you got to publicize it because that solves your problem for the next 6 months to a year.
Shame. So what are your top goals as Secretary of State? And I'm curious about specifically, are you going to keep the AVID system?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
We're going to stick with AVID. And the reason is very simple because y'all pointed out 4 years ago that ERIC was founded in part by Soros money, the Pew Charitable Trust and whatnot. Well, no, we're not going back to that. Also, if you look at the membership of ERIC right now, which I did, there's 26 members. I wouldn't say states, but DC is also in there. 25 states plus DC. 14 of the 26 are Democrat. I'm not joining any organization where Democrats have the majority vote and it has to deal with elections. All right. So we're not doing that. And we're going to stick with Avid. Now, the criticism of Avid currently is that we're only partnered with 10 states. Well, it takes time to get these partnerships up and running. I would like to see Avid have more state partnerships than what the ERIC system did. And the purpose of this, for anyone listening, is you're sharing your voter list with other states and you're looking for duplicates on the voter rolls. Now, it's illegal to vote in 2 states at once in Alabama. It wasn't illegal till 2019. 200 years of Alabama's existence, that was not illegal. But we passed a bill when I was in the legislature. I think Representative Blackshear out of Phoenix City had that bill. And now it's illegal. But question, how would you know that anybody voted in 2 states? If you didn't, like, if the states aren't talking to each other.
How do you enforce that? Because you
Right.
don't. Yeah.
Well, now we have a way because Wes Allen's created this Avid system and we share our voter list and we are catching people voting in 2 states. And we're also finding duplicates on the voter rolls. We found 40,000 duplicates already. And we haven't even run the comparison with all the states yet. So I have a friend named Rebecca who got married in Montgomery about 5 years ago, moved to Texas, had 3 kids, still on the Alabama voter rolls today. Now, how would the registrars know to remove Rebecca? Unless she told them, hey, I got married and moved to Texas, which nobody remembers to call the registrars.
No.
Right?
Correct.
Well, now we're partnered with Texas. So hopefully, now her last name has changed. So it's going to be really interesting to see if this works properly. But hopefully, when we run the comparison with Texas, her name's going to come off the voter rolls. That's the way the system should work. So I want to triple the number of partner states in Avid. So yeah, we're going to stick with Avid. We're going to expand it. And we're going to have more states in it than ERIC. And then no one's going to be able to say you need to go back to ERIC because there's more states in ERIC.
Do we have that many Republican states?
Yes.
Okay. What else? What about one thing we talked about to Wes Allen about yesterday was the business tax, the fees. And we went through kind of that the Secretary of State's office isn't funded by the general
Correct. No general
budget.
fund. Yeah.
Okay. So will you keep the fees? Do you have a plan for that and the voter rolls? What do you want to do?
I've paid a lot of these fees because I have several Alabama entities and I've paid a lot of business filing fees and dissolution fees. Paid a dissolution fee this week, actually, of $100. Everything you go to do, there's a fee. Now I looked at his budget year over year and it went from 6.5 to 7.5 million year over year. All right. So there's a large increase. What is that? About 15% or more increase in your budget in a year. Well, I don't think we need that much. Now, you can't gut every fee because office does have to have some money to run on. But my goal will be the same as the auditor's office. Can we run on the same or less than we did last year? That's the goal. And how much of that can we return to the taxpayer by cutting fees like business filing fees? Used to, you went to open your Alabama S Corp. You would file it with your local Secretary of State. You paid $50 to the probate judge. I'm sorry. You filed it with your local probate judge. Right. You pay $50 to the Secretary of State, $50 to the probate judge. Merrill moved the whole system online. You now do it completely on your computer. You print it out when you're done. So it's cheaper, faster, easier than ever before, right? Well, everything I just said is true, except it's not cheaper. They more than doubled the fee, right? It's $208 now to file an Alabama corporation. Why? Why do we make that more? If you're dissolving an entity, you don't dissolve a company that's making you a lot of money. You only dissolve it if it's losing money.
Right.
We don't need to kick them in the rear end on the way out the door. That fee should be $0. It's just clicking a button in computer software. It says dissolved. I mean, that's about all that's involved. You want to update your business as registered agent? It's a name and address change. Shouldn't be $100, right? And my favorite fee is the fee to purchase the Alabama voter rolls, which is currently $38,000.
Yes.
Which, by the way, can be changed without a bill by administrative code. You can cut the cost to $0 by administrative code, which is what I plan to do.
So Jamie Keel has a bill to
Yes.
cap that. But will you, if you're in office, will you usurp that? When do you go? Oh no, that would be the session.
Well, it would hopefully the bill goes through.
Yeah.
Right. And now 1,000's great. I would like to see it at $0, but I'll settle for 1,000 when we're
It's
at
a lot
38
better
right
than
now.
38,000.
It's a whole lot better. And I'm going to support the bill. And Representative Keel is a friend of mine, and I appreciate the effort to get this lower because this is an issue I've been talking about for 15 months. And I'm glad to see that there's now movement in the legislature on this. I read the code. I don't think it requires an act of the legislature. I think administrative code could change this and we could get it done sooner.
So in theory, Wes Allen could do it right now.
I believe so. That's what I researched, was that it's administrative code, which does not require the legislature. Now, maybe he knows something I don't.
Yeah.
But regardless of how we get it changed, we need to get the cost down. I was talking about ballot watermarking 15 months ago. Was anyone else talking about ballot watermarking in Alabama 15 months ago?
Well,
I don't
all
think
of
so.
us crazy election integrity people.
Good for
were.
you. There were a few.
But, and Mike
Nobody
Lindell.
like you. Yeah, exactly.
Mike Lindell,
Yeah.
right. So I've come out for ballot watermarking. Well, now Trump tweeted about it a few months ago. Now everyone's talking about ballot watermarking, but 15 months ago, it was kind of, me by my lonesome. But a lot of these ideas are starting to be picked up and implemented into public policy, which is really exciting to see. That means I did a good job of putting my platform together. Hopefully some of it gets implemented before I even get there, right?
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. So speaking of, how is your campaign going?
You know, it's going well. The polling is roughly tied. There's one poll that has me up 4 and one that has me down 3. It doesn't get much closer than that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm encouraged because when I ran for state house, I started off down. I mean, you can imagine polling a nobody like me against a 28-year incumbent. The polling was rough. When I ran for auditor, I started at 3% of the vote, worked my way up to 57 by the time of the runoff. So the fact that I'm even tied at this stage of a campaign, I've never been in this good of a shape going into a campaign before. That being said, I have a tough opponent. You know, my opponent is good. She's Harvard educated. I take her very seriously. So it's going to be a tough race. It's going to be a dogfight the whole way through.
Yeah. How can people find out more about you and your campaign online? Follow you?
Yeah, andrewsorrell.com, SORRELL. You can read all about my platform, my plans, and more about my history, my wife, etc., all on the website. And then you can also go to Andrew Sorrell for Secretary of State on Facebook. There's a lot of good information there as well.
All right. Wow. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. At some point, maybe we can do a longer form podcast.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Cover some more Alabama political
Yeah, that would be fun.
stuff.
I'd love to come back.
Awesome.
We'll do it again.
Thank you so much. All right, we got to take a break. We'll be back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio as we wrap up a Tuesday. Enjoyed our interview with Andrew Sorrell, who is running for Secretary of State. I don't know about y'all, but I'd never heard the story about Fort Deposit.
Me neither.
And that's a fascinating story. I'm going to go dig into it in a little while. So we have horrible news. You might have seen, if you were ever in the Birmingham area, Christina Chambers, who was a fantastic sports reporter. And she just was beloved by the Birmingham community and was now teaching at a local high school, but was found dead in an apparent murder-suicide. The toddler was left alive. Their toddler was left alive, but we are heartbroken by such horrific news. And we are so sorry and thinking of her family, her extended family, our thoughts and prayers go out to all of you involved. We're very sorry that this happened. And I pray for this little one who will now live on without perhaps both parents. I don't know the story, but we're really sorry about that.
It is awful and tragic, and prayers out to everyone and the toddler. I can't even imagine having to grow up in something like that.
No, I can't. But she was loved, and wow, just something you never think you'll see.
No,
is somebody that you respected and looked up to, and she's not here anymore. So, JP, we do have our exit question of the day.
In lieu of Allison,
who their daughter turning 21 today.
Yep.
They're taking her to a Christmas themed bar.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know anything about this Christmas themed bar. I just want to see it.
Yeah. I know. It
sounds
like fun. How does it stay open the rest of the year, though?
I don't know, because there's a bar that they turn into this frosty bar in New York City. We were there a couple of years ago and couldn't get in because it's one of those things where you just want to see it.
Yeah.
But the wait time to get in was like 2 hours. I was like, this is the brisk air of NYC. No, thank you. Hard pass. So no, thank you. But happy birthday to their oldest daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And now, though,
exit
in
question
lieu
of the
of
day.
Allison, exit question of the day.
Okay, so I got a couple here for you. Okay, here's a good one. This is one that was a debate topic growing up with me and my athlete friends. Would you rather be a star on a really bad team or be a bench rider on a championship winning team?
Oh boy,
it's a great question.
That's okay. So a star on a bad team.
Yep.
Or a bench rider on a championship team. If you're a bench rider on a championship team, does that mean does bench rider, I need to clarify terms. Does bench rider mean you literally never get in the game, but you're going to get the championship ring? Or sometimes, are you sixth man sometimes?
No, like you're the kid that goes in the garbage time. And that's it. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Or be the guy, the MVP on an awful team.
Wow. What was your answer?
See, I go back and forth on it. Let me say, okay, so first of all, being a starter on a really good team is so much fun. My junior year, we were really good in football, and I was a starter, and it was a blast. My sophomore year, I didn't play. Well, so the guy in front of me got hurt, but then the next game when I start, I broke my leg. So it didn't really count. But that team was one of the greatest teams in my school's history, and I rarely saw the field, and that was a blast. My senior year, I started, and we sucked, and it was awful. So I think being a bench player on a really fun team or a really good team is a lot more fun than being a starter / being a star athlete on a team that's awful. Now, there's some people that they only care about stats, but I really enjoyed like the camaraderie, like the team aspect of it. So I would rather be a bench rider on a team that's championship. I don't know about you.
I probably am going to agree with you because if being the guy is off the table and for whatever reason, beyond your control, you have a good attitude, you work hard in practice, you know they can throw you in a minute. let's say your cleanup minutes are amazing.
Yeah.
Because that can be a thing too. I would probably rather be a bench warmer on a championship team because you're going to have that fellowship that lasts a lifetime. Because really, when it gets down to it, the older I get, the more I realize the value of relationships.
Yeah.
And the fellowship that I've seen in my husband's life from his basketball teams from high school and college really have impacted my life.
Exactly.
And so, yes, he played.
Yeah.
All that.
He was a stud.
But I would just suggest that being a bench warmer on a team with great chemistry.
Yeah.
All day long.
Because that carries you on for a lifetime. Whereas
It does.
you got yourself and your stats, but the team that was really bad.
Yeah. And which is not real.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's just not real. So yeah, I'm with you.
So we got one more good one with about a minute left.
Okay.
Would you rather never be able to go out during the day or never be able to go out during the night?
Never be able to go out during the night.
Me too.
I'd much rather be the daytime.
I don't know about Allison. Allison may be a different answer from us.
No, she's she would say daytime. We'll ask her tomorrow, but my bet is she would say daytime.
I love, like, I can notice a difference and there's not sunlight. I love being outside and if you got a rough day and then you can go outside and it's sunny and it's hot and it's nice, you're like, oh, okay, we're gonna be okay, but then nighttime, I'm a night owl, so I kind of just go into my cave and I have to work anyways, but no, I gotta be out during the day. I gotta be doing stuff.
Listen, to that end, it's cold. It was real, like 28 this morning.
Oh, yeah,
but I walked anyway. I just bundled up. I had to get outside. It was beautiful. I'm like, I know it's freezing, but this will be the best hour I spend just because I feel like it clears your mind when you're outside. Even if you're just running errands, it clears your mind to get out of your space because at night you're already in.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I'd say daytime. I'm with you.
I knew we would agree on that.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to ask Sinclair tomorrow though.
Yeah.
So tomorrow's going to be another incredible day. I'm just going to declare it right now.
Of course.
Thank you for joining us today. We can't wait to read your text, have JP's incredible montage. We'll also have the exit question of you just don't even want to miss. Oh, hot flash news.
Hello.
So we know you're going to be here tomorrow and we thank you in advance for it, but don't go anywhere. We'll see you in 21 hours. Have a good one.